Matt Walsh has lost his mind. The sense of entitlement that some people have. It's hard to believe.
The context for procreation, for the building of the nuclear family.
What about people that get married that don't have kids? Are you opposed to that?
Well, what do you mean am I opposed to it? I mean, I think...
Well, it's a very simple question. It's a yes or no question. Are you opposed to it or not?
If marriage is only for procreation and to bond a family together, what about people that are deeply in love that never want to have children?
I don't think it's not only procreation, but that is one of the fundamental definitional aspects of it. Of course, there's more to marriage just than that.
And what about people that are infertile? They fall in love and they realize that they can have babies. And they don't really necessarily want to adopt. Is that okay for them to be married?
Marriage is a concept invented by people for themselves. It's not something that nature gave us. So this idea that someone like Matt Walsh is gonna sit there and tell everybody, hey, this is what marriage is supposed to be, so you have to do exactly that. And he's not directly saying no, but you can tell that he doesn't fucking agree with it. He agrees with the traditional norms. And that's okay. But don't fucking tell everybody what to do.
I mean, that doesn't change the nature of marriage, though. It's a little bit like I say that, what's the definition of a woman? Well, a woman is someone who by her nature can conceive children in her womb and bear children. And then the response is always, well, what about women who are infertile? Does that destroy your definition of woman? And it doesn't, because it's still a woman's nature to bear children. Not every woman will, and there will be disease and infertility and old age and all these things that will preclude that, but it's still of her nature to do so. And I would say the same thing for marriage. I mean, it is natural in a marriage for procreation to occur. It's not always going to happen in reality, though, but that's still one of the natural functions of marriage. And married couples who can't conceive children, there are other ways to be parents, like adoption, for example.
If they want to. Right. Sure. But if people want to be married and don't want to ever have children, are you opposed to them being married?
Well, I wouldn't advocate a law that would prevent it.
Oh, cheers for that, my friend. Cheers for that. Marriage is just two people who are romantically in love. That's it, man. That's it. That's all it is. It's just a human-made concept. For fuck's sake.
Marriage is to you because they don't want to have a family? They just want to have a loving bond?
I think this will be a couple that is rejecting one of the fundamental aspects of marriage.
What are the other fundamental aspects of marriage? You tell me. Okay, so one's that you have to have kids. What about the other aspects? What is this nonsense, man? What's his argument here?
Be open to life. I would hope that in the future they would be, but
isn't that just a personal choice? I mean, you can have a very fulfilling life if you just follow your pursuits and your dreams and your interests, and you find someone that shares those interests with you and you share time together. It's very fulfilling and loving.
Yeah, it's a personal choice, in that I'm not advocating for like a law that says that you if you're married you have to have X number of kids.
But then why are you opposed to two gay people doing that?
Well, because again, it's not about choice. It's about what this institution, marriage is an institution, and what is it, and what purpose does it serve?
I'll simplify it for you. He's opposed to it because as a kid, he didn't see it around himself. He probably was raised in a fucking Catholic family or some shit, I'm just imagining here. But whatever it was very traditional. And he thinks that's the only fucking right answer. So anything outside of those constraints is absurd to him. That's the problem. He thinks that he knows everything. It's not just one or two people who have claimed that they are attracted to the same gender in the world, man. It's way too many people to think that this is something that doesn't exist. It's way too many people who have claimed this, who have claimed that they want to marry a person from the same gender, motherfucks, for you to sit here and say, hey, I disagree with it because back in the day my ancestors used to do the same thing. It's nonsensical. It's stupid. I already know what he's gonna say. He's gonna say that, hey, this is gonna disrupt everything. It's gonna disrupt the society. No, it won't. No, it won't, man. Explain how. Give me the logistics. How? And even if it will, why is it that you should be prioritized over gay people? Why? You tell me that. Why is it that your disruption is more important than theirs?
Tearing down or changing this definition especially because the people who have changed the definition haven't come up with a new one. So they say, well, that's not what marriage is. So for thousands of years, we said marriage is the procreative union.
No, we didn't. Marriage, in a lot of areas, was just two families coming together and having some sort of a business deal. Let's say it's two fucking kingdoms, right? One king rules area number A, the other one rules area number B. They fucking make their children marry each other, and now they join forces. Now they collectively rule both the areas. That's what marriage was supposed to be. I'm giving a very simple example here, but that was it. That's how the concept of marriage was formed.
Okay, well then, like, what is it exactly? And I know you said, well, it's people who love each other. Two people love each other. Well, but then, why two people? Why do they have to love each other?
What do you mean? Why do they have to procreate? What type of question is that, man?
You get into what if they're in the same family? What if brothers and sisters want to marry? And I know every time that comes up, the advocates for gay marriage will say, well, that's a slippery slope argument. That's a fallacious. But it's actually not. It's like we're trying to get to what do you even think this institution is now, since you've rejected out what we were saying it was. And I've never found a compelling definition. And any definition offered, it's like, well, what's even the point then? Why do we even need this now?
I just don't see how a gay marriage in any way damages a straight marriage.
Here is the thing. What if two gay people get married and they adopt a kid? It serves the same purpose then, doesn't it? And a lot of gay people do that. So what's the problem here? The problem is that you just don't want to see something that's outside your traditional norms. It's just that simple, man, because you are an entitled piece of shit. This is literally what your career revolves around. This is literally the only thing you're known for. Standing up against people who are gay or trans or whatever the fuck. That's it. It's one thing to be like, hey, I don't agree with it, but I've got like a million other things going on in my life. No, not with you. This is literally it. This is literally what your entire life revolves around. And this is completely stupid. So, this is nonsensical, man. The fact that people like him are famous is just beyond hilarious to me.